With the announcement of the brand new Imperium Magazine coming from Hatchette, there is a lot of questions flying about, and hopefully this video will answer your question. From my video the other day, I've been looking at the comments and there's some concerns, mostly about why can't I get it in my country, the pricing, do I have to subscribe to it, can I get it separately, what are the price costs to savings if I were to subscribe to it. So this is what we're going to be focusing on today. One of the most discussed things a part of yesterday's video beside the models was location. Why can't I get this in my country? For those of you who don't know, the only availability for this new Imperium magazine right now is the UK and Ireland. If you're in the US, if you're in Canada, Australia, Europe, this is not available to you. Now, what I would suggest is just wait. I know that's rich coming from me because I'm in the UK and I get instantly access to this, but I'm comparing this Imperium magazine to what the Conquest magazine did. Now, what happened with the Conquest magazine is that it originally launched in the UK and Ireland, then it went to other countries in Europe. I think it went to Germany, then it went to Spain, it went to Australia. Sadly though, it never went to the US or Canada or South America or that continent. And the reason I believe they didn't do this is because of distribution issues. When you look at America, Canada as a whole, it is a big, massive landmass compared to like the UK, where we can basically fit inside of Florida. So I think technically it's down to that distribution why you American chaps will never get this magazine. Never is quite a strong word. You should really never say never, but the way I look at the Imperium magazine is following the same marketing technique as what happened to Conquest. So all the places where Conquest went out, this is where I'm seeing the Imperium magazine is got to go out as well. Now, please don't give up hope. I'm going to try and give you a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to try and do something that I did with the Conquest magazines. So what I did with that magazine is I went down to my local shop and I personally ordered a bunch of the first issues, second issues, third and fourth issues, and I gave them away to subscribers on my channel. I'll try and do that same technique again with the Imperium magazine. It's just at this moment in time, I don't know if it's actually got to go to my local shop, but if it does, then I'll go down and I'll order a few boxes, and all you have to do is be a subscriber of the channel. We'll do it via a live stream or a video, and you can get your hands on the first couple of the issues and save some money on some of these models that come along with those issues. Now, before we get into the cost saving and the breakdown, I just want to go into a few more questions that I saw stand out in the comment section. One was, do I have to subscribe to this magazine? Can I go and buy it separate? Again, I'm applying the same marketing technique they did with the Conquest magazine, and you could buy that separate. You could find them in your WH Smiths in the UK. You can find them in like Asda. One of the best places to actually get these magazines, and you can still get Conquest magazines from this place, is Forbidden Planet. I'll put a link to their website in the description of the video. It's a massive comic books like a warehouse in London. I actually think it's a shop if I'm not mistaken, and that is where a lot of people were buying the separate individual copies of the Conquest magazine from. The only downside to it is that they sell out very, very fast. So it's first come, first serve. Whereas you subscribe to the actual magazine, you're always guaranteed that copy. So there is negatives and there is positives when you do buy it separate. Another question that stood out is how many issues are there in this series, and is it a monthly series? And the answer to that is it's going to be an 80 issue spread, and it's going to be given to you on a weekly basis. This is not a monthly magazine service. This is a weekly magazine service. So if you subscribe to the entire series, you're going to be getting a issue per week. If you subscribe at the standard price, that is $8.99, and if you subscribe at the premium price, then that is $10.99 per week. And lastly, one of the questions I saw standing out a lot is this actually worth it? Now, if we look at this from the monetary sense, yes, it's definitely worth it because you are making a saving on models. But there's a bigger thing to ask yourself, is this worth it for you? Now, take me, for example. This is probably not worth it for me. And the reason I say this is that I don't play Necron, so one half of the subscription is instantly going to be chucked out. Yes, I could probably use it for basing and stuff, but that's just something I'm never going to do. If I look at the Imperial side of it, or the Imperium side, let's say, the Sisters are in there. I don't collect Sisters, so they're not worth it. The AdMech stuff is in there. I don't collect AdMech. The only thing I collect is the Space Marine stuff. Now, most of the Space Marine stuff, a part of this, I already have. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get it or I don't want it. But I think for me as the individual, I'll be better off at buying the single editions and trying to get them for like the £8 or like the £11, whatever they bloody go for, on these websites like Forbidden Planet that we've already talked about. For me as the individual, that's going to be more worth it. Now, moving on, I want to give a massive shout out to a website called foxhammer.com, because we're going to be talking about the prices and the breakdown, and this individual has gone in and he has done the Emperor's work. He's produced a number of articles looking at the different aspects of the breakdowns and savings. I'm briefly going to be using one of those articles just to get across how much you're saving, but if you want more information, please, by the Emperor's might, go to the link in my description and click on it. You will not be let down. He really goes into amazing detail. So the image in the background is, of course, all the models that we're going to be getting as part of this 80-issue subscription. Now, in the Space Marine part of it, there is £337.25 of models. In the Sisters of Battle, it's £125 worth of models. For those of you who don't know, basically the Sister of Battle stuff is the box set that they put out last year when the Sisters were first announced. It was a limited edition box set and it sold out very, very fast. So if you missed out on that, this is your chance to get those models once more. The AdMech models come up to the price tag of £105. The Necron stuff adds up to £517.70, and the terrain in the back comes to a total of £157.50. That is a grand total of £1,242.45. So if you compare the price of that now to the Warhammer Imperium saving, which is going to be costing you altogether £701.22 for all those models, that means you save £541.23. It comes to around 43% worth of saving on these models. Again, it all comes down to you as the individual. Is that a saving to you? Is it worth it? Is this subscription worth it? Are you going to be using all the Necrons, the Sisters, the Space Marines, the AdMech, the terrain? If so, then yes, it is definitely worth it to you. What I would suggest, and this is what I suggested with the Conquest magazine, is maybe go into this with a friend. So maybe convince your friend to have the Space Marines or the Imperium side, you get the Xenos side, or vice versa, and you split it. So instead of the magazine costing you $8.99, it's costing you half of that because you're splitting it with a friend. He takes the Xenos stuff and you take the Space Marine stuff. There's bigger savings and both of you get armies out of it. Alright, Chaprunios, that is me done for another video. Hopefully I've answered your questions. If you have any more questions, post them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Again, if you're from the US, Canada, Australia, Europe, and you don't have access to this, then my thoughts are with you. I will do my best to try and get you chaps some magazines, but of course it's all down to just the random draw of YouTube and the giveaways, so I can't guarantee that everyone in the world who can't get access to these magazines will get one from myself. Anyway, leave your thoughts, feedback, everything like that in the description of the video, and we'll have a nice little chat down there as we always do. See you now, have a great day, and bye-bye.